Hi, this video is about loading a profile into Voice Attack and how to get that profile once it's loaded up to Voice Attack to work alongside Vaicom if you happen to have that particular option. I'm using a Viper profile that I made up for another member in DCS community, and I'm going to use that as my primary example. So after they pulled this down from Dropbox, first thing to do is to extract it. So if you have 7-zip, you can use that. If not, you can use the standard Windows option, and we'll extract all. Extract it to the desktop. Extract. So just close that out the way for now. So now you can see I have the unzipped version of the file. I can double click on that. It gives me a folder within a folder, and then we eventually get to the files that are inside there. So the first is just a general readme, giving a little blurb about the profile itself and what some of the areas and commands within it do. Next thing to look at is the DCS Viper profile hypertext file. If I open that, you can see I get a listing here showing you all the commands that are in the profile. This can be also rearranged using these header options here. First thing we have here is a spoken command. The 1 to 20 is actually a suffix command, but you can see things like air to air override would be the command, air to ground override, etc, etc. That's the actual command you would speak. What's actually classed here is keyboard shortcut is in actual fact an explanation, a brief explanation of what each command does. And the heading marked button is in actual fact the folders that are kept within the Voice Attack profile, and we'll see that when we go over to the profile. The handy thing with this is you can rearrange the rows to be under the keyboard shortcut or the button or the spoken command. My preference is for the button because that puts all the what they call button, but actually puts all the into the various folders. So these are all sort of common commands around airfield tacking and ILS, for instance. These are all common to the displays, etc, etc. So that's your sort of guide. You can either print that out or you could pull it into Excel and rearrange it further to give you something that you can then use when you're playing the game. And if you can't remember the command, you can then refer to either the file directly or to a printed out version of it. So the next thing we need to do is actually get the profile running. So the first thing we need to do is to insert the keyboard Lua file. This contains some extra keyboard commands that the profile requires to run, and that is part of DCS. Go to C drive, users, your name, saved games. We're using TCS Open Beta, so we go here, and we want to go to config, open config, open input. This particular profile is for the Viper, so I go to F16C block 50, open that, open the keyboard, and here I'll have my default keyboard.lua file. So before I load in the new one, I either want to move this to somewhere else and keep it as a reference, or simply rename it within the existing folder, which is what I'll do. So as should there be any accidents or problems, you can easily go back to it. So I just yes on that. Go into the Viper profile again and load the keyboard.lua. So now when DCS opens up, it will run the keyboard.lua that came with the profile. Okay, next thing is to actually load the profile into Voice Attack. The way I like to do it is to we'll copy this and I'll go into Voice Attack itself, which is usually kept in your C drive, although you may have it somewhere else. Program files 86, Voice Attack, and all your profiles are kept in this folder here, profiles. So I've got a list in here already, but I'll then paste in the Viper profile, and it's now in here. So that's that done. Next thing is to open Voice Attack itself. And you'll probably have your Vaicom profile up there as default. Next thing to do is to go to the plus sign here, more profile actions, and import profile. It will then bring you up your should bring up the profiles. In this case it's defaulted somewhere else, so I'll just go to it. And here we have all the profiles, and the one we're looking for here is DCS Viper. So I open that, and now Voice Attack has loaded and put the profile in as DCS Viper. I can open that profile by hitting the square with a pencil, the Edit Profile button, and here you can see what I was referring to as folders. You see the airfield tack-in, and if I open that up, you'll see it contains all these various Voice Attack actions or commands within it. If you double click on one of these, it will actually show you what the sequence of programming is within the within that command, what's executed. In this case, these are just mainly key presses. Just say OK to that. I can then just close that. You can leave these open or closed as you wish. I mean, you can just open them all up. Or you can just close them all down. Doesn't matter. So, next thing is to go back to the DCS Vaicom profile, which I also have difficulty finding in here amongst all my stuff. Here we go, Vaicom Pro for DCS World. While I'm here, I'll just open this up briefly, just to show you the push to talks. And you can see here that the first, you have a total of 6. The first is VHF, second UHF, second VHF, frequency modulation. The fourth on auto, which I don't think I've ever used yet. I believe some of the helicopters can have up to 4 radios. 5 is the interphone, which is the corded communications that you would have with the ground crew. And 6 is the auxiliary, which you would use if trying to execute profiles that are not local to Vaicom itself or something a little different. You use the aux. I've got these 2 keyboard commands, and for each of these there are 2. For each button there are 2. One is press to activate, and the other's a release to activate. So as I can show you that if we look at the actual command here and open it up, you'll see that it presses this button sequence and does that whenever I actually use that button, that right shift button. The difference with the second one is it only invokes it when the keys are released. So when I release it, that command is executed. So in other words, one is like a push to talk. When I push the button in, it executes the first command here. When I release the key, it executes the second, and it does that for all 6. To get the profile running with Vaicom, I again go back into the editor. I can just lift that up. I go to options, and I have this include command from other profiles, and currently it's none. I open this up, and what this does is this will include a profile piggybacked onto the back of Vaicom. It won't interfere with Vaicom, it won't add anything into Vaicom. It just, if you say a command and Voice Attack can't find it within the Vaicom listing, it will then go to whatever's loaded in here in the priority that it's loaded. So I just click on the plus, select my profile, and in this case we're looking for Viper. I say OK. OK. You see now I have DCS Viper in here. Say OK. Done. And you've now got the profile loaded onto the back of Vaicom. I can quickly show you that working. If I just open this, this is keystroke editor. And I can then operate now the commands within the piggyback profile. So for instance, tune Batumi ILS.
Batumi, ILS, 110.3 set. Runway 13, approach 119 magnetic.
Tune Cobuletti Tower.
Cobuletti, COM2, tower frequency, 133.0.
So that just proves that the second profile is now working. Oops. And that should be all you should need. So hopefully that's clear enough, and good luck. And if you've got any problems, you can drop a comment on the list or PM me via the DCS forum. I'm Ouija. Alright, bye.